Welcome to the Having It All podcast, the show about what it takes to live an abundant, loving life. My name is Matthew Bivens, and each week I'm helping you get out of your head so that you can truly have it all. Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? Matthew Bivens here, and welcome to another episode of the Having It All podcast. I am recording right now on the go. Not necessarily because I need to multitask or anything like that, but because I've had this habit lately of bringing my microphone around with me when I'm in the car. Because if you know anything about Atlanta, to drive anywhere takes at least 30 minutes. So I was meeting a friend of mine in town. We live out of town, outside the perimeter, and I was driving inside the perimeter. So it's a 30-minute drive. So I brought my mic, and I was inspired about 2/3 of my way home. So if it sounds like I'm in a car, it's because I am in a car. But trust me, I am safe. I have a nice little rig where I don't have to worry about the mic and I can just cruise and talk. And I was inspired today by a podcast episode I was listening to. And it's about business. The podcast is called Side Hustle Nation. And, I'm an entrepreneur. Sarah and I have several businesses. And I'm always trying to learn the tips and just learn from the experience of others. And so this actually could be an episode of having it all by itself, and that's the power of environment and being very conscious about the environment you place yourselves in and the information that you intake into your body, whether it's raising or lowering your energy. And so I was taking in some awesome business, entrepreneur, creative content, and one of the guests on this podcast said something that really struck me and really stuck with me. Again, the podcast is called Side Hustle Nation, and in this episode, the host, Nick Loper, is speaking with Vincent Pugliese. Vincent is a guy who's got a number of businesses himself. He's an author. He's created online courses. He's also a photographer, a sports photographer. And when asked, towards the end of this interview, when asked what his one big takeaway is for people, for the folks listening who want to, enhance their business and all that great stuff, Vincent said, essentially, give to others and focus on giving, focus on your network. And it all throughout Vincent's story of entrepreneurship, how he went from making $32,000 a year working at a newspaper and, really loving the type of work, but really not enjoying the environment and the pay, quite frankly. Going from that to being an entrepreneur and making $32,000 in a single day. Yes, in a single day from a course launch that he did. He really emphasizes again and again the importance of your network. And that your network is your net worth. Boom. I dig that quote. Actually, I think I have it backwards. Your net worth is your network. So it just goes back to giving and making deposits in other people's bank accounts, other people's emotional bank accounts, speaking another person's love language, and just giving. So one thing that Vincent does, he's really hammered this habit, into himself over the years, is the hour of giving. He calls it the hour of giving. So he will spend the first hour of every day giving to other people. And giving can look like a lot of things. It could come in the form of writing somebody a thank you letter. It could be sending somebody an affirming text. It could be leaving a review on a podcast he likes, or writing a review on an Amazon book that he just purchased. Or maybe it's supporting another entrepreneur or supporting a friend by purchasing their product or sending referrals their way. Giving can have a lot of different faces and can look a lot of different ways, but the sentiment behind it is the same. It's all selfless. It is all selfless. And I mean, when I heard that, I'm like, yes, I'm going to start an intentional segment of my day, dedicate it simply to giving to other people. Because I'm a huge believer in it, and I'm a practitioner of it as well. I just simply don't dedicate an entire hour every single morning for that. But I love every part of it, because when you give to other people and you fill other people's tank, it is a dual win. It is a win in the sense that you feel great. You feel better when you've made a deposit in someone else's tank. Even if you can't see the response from the other person, even if it's, leaving a person a review on Amazon because they just published their first book and they're super excited. You can imagine what their face is going to look like when they log into their Amazon account and see their very first review and see that it came from you. You can put yourself in in their shoes and you can imagine what that feels like. But then the second win is that not always, but oftentimes it comes back to you. It comes back to you. So all of that goodwill, all of that energy you're putting out, all of that abundance that you're showering on somebody else ends up coming back to you. Your net worth is your network. I love that. I really do. And, for you out there who are listening who are business owners, for a lot of us, the goal is to have a business that generates its clients and revenue off of referrals, isn't it? I mean, if I don't have to spend $1 on my marketing and I don't have to put energy into different activities that are for promoting my business, and I can simply focus on the thing that I do best, and business comes anyway because of referrals, because of the relationships I've established, who doesn't want that? That's the ideal situation for just about everybody. I don't know many businesses who want to be spending advertising dollars. The reason why people spend millions of dollars advertising for the Super Bowl is because their referral networks probably aren't as healthy as they could be. And so creating a habit of giving to other people, loving on other people, making deposits in other people's tanks can have dramatic impacts on business, but it will also impact those other areas of your life. If you're experiencing a strained relationship right now, whether it's with a spouse, a sibling, a parent, a friend, whoever it's with, imagine the impact of you making some small deposit in their tank, some small gesture of love towards them every day, or maybe it's a couple times a week, with no expectation of anything coming back to you in return. What do you think that would do for that relationship? I'll break it down in even more simple terms. Do you think the relationship would improve, go up, or go down? I will put all my money on improve. Absolutely. Because we are creatures who want to feel loved and we want to feel accepted. And by loving on other people, by giving to other people, we are feeding that fundamental desire that we all have as humans. Now, it can be challenging to create a habit of giving and making deposits in other people's tanks. Because some people might say that although we are creatures, as humans, we do want to receive love from others, we ourselves are also selfish creatures. And we tend to look out for ourselves first and foremost and make sure that we get what we need before we then give to anybody else. And I don't have any experience or knowledge or anything to say that that's true or not. I can absolutely relate to that at times. And if you can relate to that sentiment as well, the idea that you might be one of the people who looks out for themselves first, it might be challenging for you to create this habit of giving to others and doing that before you get yours. But just think of the benefits. Think of the ripple effects. Imagine starting your day being selfless. The things that you do in the beginning of the day, the way that you kick off your day, have huge impact on how the rest of your day is going to flow. It's almost like starting your day off by picking up a pair of sunglasses. And you have all these different lens colors. And it's like, what color lens do you want to view your day? You can view your day through selfless colored lenses. I don't know. What color is selflessness? I'm thinking like green, right? You put on your selfless lenses first thing in the morning as you do your habit of giving love and showering love on others. And then the rest of your day, you're wearing those green lenses. It'll most likely impact how you behave and how you think the rest of your day. I know for myself, when I start my day off by thinking of those roles in which I want to accomplish my goals in each day, I'm more likely to keep that in my mind. So if I think to myself, okay, I want to make sure that as a father, I'm checking off these boxes in the day. Or I want to make sure that as a husband, I'm knocking out these things and making sure that Sarah is feeling awesome. If I kick off my day with that type of thinking, then I'm way more inclined to continue that thinking throughout the day and make sure Maya gets her deposits and Sarah gets her deposits. So for those folks who it just might be a bit of a challenge, this whole concept, I just invite you to think about what things would be like. This is where you get creative. Tap into that imagination of yours and think about what your relationships might be like, your friendships, your business, your level of anxiety, your level of stress, your overall well-being. If you were to start your day off by giving purely with the intention of giving, wanting nothing in return, expecting nothing in return, but purely to make a deposit, a meaningful deposit, however big or however small, into somebody else's life, into somebody else's emotional bank account. I know I'm absolutely inspired. Absolutely inspired. I'm super happy that I was introduced to the Side Hustle Nation podcast. I'm super happy that I happened to check out the episode with Vincent Pugliese and listened all the way to the end so I could hear all the things about how he does his hour of giving. And as I pull into my house right now, you probably are hearing my dogs barking in the background. That's Watson and Ginny. Watson's the one who's making all the noise. I'm going to go inside and think about who I can make some deposits. Who can I make some deposits to? Because I know that it's going to make me feel awesome, and I believe that it will come back to me in the end. But that's not the point. That's not even the point. So I'm excited about this practice for myself. I'd love to hear your thoughts on, do you have any sort of practice of giving, of making deposits in other people's tanks? If you do and you want to share, shoot me an email, mattcbivens@gmail.com. Again, that's mattcbivens@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate your support. I appreciate all of it. Thank you for making deposits in my tank every day when you listen, as you email me, as you submit reviews, all that great stuff. Those are all deposits. I am super grateful and appreciative. That's it. That's all I got. My name is Matthew Bivens. Here's to you having it all.